Welcome back. As the Democratic Republic of Congo prepares towards its December elections, the UN envoy is charging the country to press ahead for credible elections. The head of the UN mission in the country told the Security Council that a failure to allow political participation, as foreseen by the Congolese constitution, could ruin the peaceful nature and the credibility of polls.
The United Nations Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, known by its French acronym MONUSCO, has called for the protection of fundamental rights and freedoms ahead of the December polls. Addressing the UN Security Council, head of the mission, Leila Zerugi, encouraged all parties to continue to engage in dialogue. She also called for the lifting of a ban on public demonstrations and upholding of freedom of expression and peaceful assembly, which she says is crucial to making meaningful democratic progress.
A lack of confidence or a perceived lack of credibility in the Senate or in the decision of the Constitutional Court would only serve to heighten tensions in this process. Any impression that the Senate may have gone beyond its remit in the interpretation of the electoral law in determining the eligibility of candidates to stand in the elections would only undermine confidence in the process as a whole.
President Joseph Kabila's announcement earlier this month that he will not be standing for a third term eased fears in the region. He was due to step down in 2016 at the end of his constitutional mandate, but the election to replace him was repeatedly delayed. The opposition accuses him of suppressing the electoral process after one of his main rivals was refused entry into Congo this month after years in exile. Opposition leader Jean-Pierre Bemba was also excluded from the list of approved candidates for December's elections. The Congolese ambassador to the UN, Gata Mavita Walufuta, says despite efforts by the government and the Electoral Commission to advance the process, some Security Council members continue to be skeptical.
The process has also suffered from a lack of trust, which has been engendered by suspicion introduced among Congolese people so effectively that they have come to even doubt themselves to the point of being skeptical, even about the solemn promise to respect the constitution made by the head of state himself. My delegation is of the view that the international community has some responsibility for this situation and should adopt measured language to help reduce this crisis at the current stage of the process.
Citizens are also restless over the state of the economy. Although it has big reserves of gold, cobalt, diamonds, tin, and coltan, which is used in laptops and mobile phones, the vast country has been hit by the fall in global commodity prices.
In South Africa, the firebrand leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party, Julius Malema, has called on the government to pull out of the Commonwealth. He says the 53-member body is presided over by the colonizer and to respect the Commonwealth perpetuates white supremacy. British Queen Elizabeth II is the head of the body founded in 1931. Her son, Prince Charles, has been lined up as her successor. Mr. Malema also said that it is through small things that total freedom could be achieved, and so South African judges should stop wearing judicial wigs, which he sees as a colonial relic. A rural school in South Africa is turned into hydrogen fuel cells to generate electricity. Polano Secondary School is not connected to the national grid, but with the technology, it's able to generate 2.5 kilowatts of electricity from hydrogen. This is a renewable fuel that, when used to generate power, produces no emissions apart from water and heat.
Poliano Secondary School, located in Ventersdorp, South Africa, is set to benefit from a plan to ease the country's dependence on fossil fuels and promote use of renewable energy. The school, located in a rural part of the Northwest Province, where communities still don't have access to power supply, uses a hydrogen fuel cell power system and connects to off-grid electricity supply.
We have electricity now, and that is very helpful for us because we can use the tablets and the laptops in our school. That will help us to do our researches more likely when we have geographies and or researches, we can do them.
Similar generators have also been launched in parts of the country, proving the country's advances in hydrogen fuel cell technology. Solar panels have also been mounted at the school to boost power generation.
This school we have an electrolyzer and a fuel cell. The electrolyzer produces hydrogen stored at low pressure in the tanks, and the fuel cell then uses that hydrogen to produce electrical energy. And the power for the electrolyzer is obtained from a PV system that we have on the school.
Fuel cells are already used to power vehicles and provide power to remote or inaccessible places, including on space capsules and satellites. The school will rely on a 2.5 kilowatt hydrogen fuel cell for lighting and to power its computers.
Previously, sometimes the school will be without electricity for almost a month. And now, because the sun is almost there every day, so it's history now talking about problem of electricity. We are able now learners to learn, learners they are able to talk, learners they are able to be teach in terms of using these resources like internet, using the tablets.
With many South Africans struggling with blackouts, energy shortages, high tariffs and years of underinvestment in power infrastructure, the technology offers the hope that hydrogen will be a viable alternative energy source.
That's it on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Teniola Shobowale.